Hello, hello, hello. So happy to have you with us. So, I just wanted to come on here to just have a chat about what's been going on with The Bachelor. There's been so much controversy happening outside of The Bachelor, outside of the timing. I'm sorry, outside of the filming, that I just want to kind of cover that. um we do that sometimes on this channel when there are things that happen outside of the show that are significant enough. We do cover it on this channel, and we've done that in the past. And so obviously what I'm talking about is this whole Rachel Chris Harrison controversy. And when I refer to Rachel, I mean the contestant on the current season of The Bachelor. And obviously, Chris Harrison in the interview he did with Rachel Lindsay, the former Bachelorette, who is actually successfully married to her husband. So she actually is a successful, more recent Bachelorette. So I wanted to kind of talk about that because it has been going on. I've kind of heard about this a little later than most people did. And that was because I follow Chris Harrison on Instagram. And so I was like, oh, I saw this statement on IG, and I'm thinking, okay, what's that about? And all these comments below it, and I'm like, what happened? I don't even know what happened. And so, I did listen to the full interview that Rachel Lindsay did on Extra, and I listened to the exchange and what he said. But just to back up, when I was looking at all the comments under the post he did on IG, so many of them are like, almost kind of defending Rachel and the controversy surrounding her, the photo that she took. And it was kind of interesting to me to read all of that. And in a lot of the comments as well, I noticed the fact that people were also not only defending Chris, they were defending Rachel, who was in the photo. And I also have to say there was a bigger surrounding controversy regarding her that I kind of was shielded from as well, which was of her, being liking certain comments about certain things and other things like that. So the controversy was much more than just that photo, if you're not aware, which you probably are. It's more than just that photo. She's liked certain photos of things that were, I guess, less than savory in some people's eyes. And there was other things surrounding her, and even, people coming out and saying she bullied them in high school or, during school regarding dating Black men. But here she is on a show to date a, you know, someone who looks, visibly Black, he's biracial, he has a white mother, I believe he considers himself Black. His mom is white. His dad is Black, I guess. So, here she's on a show dating, what they're calling, quote unquote, the first Black bachelor. But she's making, racist comments allegedly to people she's gone to school with, teasing them about dating Black men. So it's kind of ironic in that regard. Then we have Chris Harrison, who's been the host of The Bachelor and all the franchise for so many years, in the mix. And the reason why he was in it is because he was being interviewed by Rachel Lindsay. And you can check out that interview and actually watch it to the end, which is really interesting because in part of the interview, he's saying, you know, I know how this might, you know, how this is probably going to go, how depending on how this is edited and cut up and chopped up, people are going to have some really, strong reactions to things that I've said, which is so funny that he actually predicted what actually has gone down, because the quote that we see him saying is when Rachel brings this up and she's asking questions within that exchange. Chris Harrison says, "Is it a good look in 2018, or is it not a good look in 2021?" And I think to that, Rachel kind of was like, it's not ever, kind of like a good look. And then he kind of doubled down, but he agreed with what she was saying, but then he kind of doubled down and said that was not the case in 2018. And he goes on to basically defend Rachel, the contestant on the current season of The Bachelor. But then he says, but I'm not defending Rachel and not defending, I guess like her actions or what she's done and things like that. But he continues to kind of like defend her. And so, I mean, there's a lot to digest from this. It's a really, I don't even know if I'll be able to cover it really all in this video, but I will say that there is definitely, a lot of issues within this whole controversy. And that's because, I'm using this new software, guys. So I'm wanting to see. I'm sorry. Excuse me, guys. I just had to sneeze. I apologize. If I got you in the ear. So anyway, yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of things in this. I mean, certain things that Chris Harrison said I did agree with, was that, you shouldn't label people and, assign certain character traits because someone's voted a certain way and all of this other stuff. And I get that as well. But then he was also saying we need to give her time. We need to give her time. And Rachel was like, well, this has pretty much been going on since the Bachelor season has started. There have been other rumors going on about her. Rachel Lindsay said this. There have been other rumors going on about Rachel, things that have come to light. So this has been going on for a while. And so that was definitely something that she mentioned. And, there were definitely rumors going on and that sort of thing. So I think that that's definitely something that, is really interesting. And that she said. There was one thing that I did kind of look at, and I don't know if I'll get back to it, but it was, interesting to point out regarding, and what I'll do is I'll, if you haven't seen the video, I mean, not the video, if you haven't seen a part of it, I'll just show you right here. So you see here, I want to show you the actual, not Hannah Brown. Well, that was another controversy too. This is what Chris Harrison said. And this is, I think this is when I realized something actually was going on. I was like, oh my gosh, something is actually happening. I didn't know what was going on with this. I also wanted to, another thing that happened was that, which was interesting, is amid the controversy, Hannah Brown, some kind of way, friended her. But that's not what I wanted to show you. There was something else I wanted to show you. And it's basically Um, it was another, it's another, I could probably show you part of that interview. Maybe I can show you a little bit of it. Let's see. But let's see if I can show you a little bit of this interview just so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on with it. Give me 1 second. Okay. I'm using this new software, guys, so we're trying. Okay, so let's see.
Between, it's like that was a type of party that a lot of people went to. And again, I'm not defending it. I didn't go to it. We are not looking under the same lens. And that is, again, the grace and the compassion, the understanding. With this girl at, I don't know how old she would have been back then, have thought, historically, this mansion stood for this. Guys, it's not really that woke.
So, there you go. You can kind of hear some of that in that he, what he was. There's a lot to digest from it. He also mentioned, does anybody really have gotten it right, sort of thing. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but I mean, with that, we can all agree there's just certain things that you shouldn't do, which, we can see from the past have gotten certain people in trouble. Like a white person just should not say the N-word. I mean, that's not going to change, there's just certain things that no, you shouldn't do. You shouldn't be celebrating slavery. You should not be, celebrating certain things. And, we can say, oh, there's, they didn't know this, that, and the third, but whose responsibility is it? I mean, we live in a very diverse world. United States of America was built on the backs of the enslaved. These are just things that people should know. This is not something that requires a deep level of education and understanding regarding that. So there, are definitely certain things that we can all just agree with. Now, yes, I agree with Chris. There are things, obviously, and I'm sure he would agree with everything that I just said. I would think so, but there are certain things I agree with. Like, yes, we should not be so quick to, condemn someone. We should give them time. But at the same time, when something like this hits the fan, yes, there is kind of a responsibility to respond to it, especially when you are vying to date the first Bachelor. So, this is unscripted. I don't have any notes. So I'm kind of going, off of what certain things. But I want to show you, I really actually wanted to show you this picture because this was the picture I was looking to share with you. So let me just show that with you so you can see that, because I don't think I showed it last time. So this is the picture, the controversial picture. This is the contestant, and all these other people were there as well. What I'd like to know, and that when I first realized this was what was going on, I kind of want to know, who are these other people there, and what were they thinking, and why did they participate, and what do they think about it now? That's what I'd like to know, because it's not just about her, it's not just about her. It's about what this party represents and why they all felt it was okay to attend in 2018, and to it wasn't it wasn't okay in 2018. It is not okay now, but one has to understand in the US there are different, ideas and attitudes depending on what area of the country you live in. There really are. And um, I think that, you know, it's something that we all should think about. Um, One of the things is she did come out and she did, apologize and say she's educating herself and that sort of thing. Um, and she did mention that she, uh, is educating herself. But I think this kind of brings it to the question of what will what will Matt James do? Because I think what he does will, you know, say a lot. I was trying to read my notes because I did write that question. What he does will say a lot, and I think it's so true. What he does will say a lot. People are saying that she wins. Um, People are saying that she's the last, woman standing. Um, what will he do? We're going to definitely be doing a part 2 to this video. And the next part 2, it'll be a little bit more fast moving. But that's the question. What will Matt James do? I think that's going to say a lot. So that's it for now. I don't want this video to drag out. It's actually longer than I expected. But now that I'm getting a little bit better hang of the software that I'm using, we'll be using this software again. And hopefully we'll be using it for some live chats as well. So again, thanks for listening, watching, and subscribing. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much. Bye.